So, we had a few kind of announcements along the way. Does anybody from the panel want to announce anything else? Anything else? Yeah.
So I might as well. So one of the things that we announced today was that the Eclipse Foundation and the Symbian Foundation actually have joined each other's organization, and I think there's a couple of reasons that I think is important. But one is that the whole area of open source and open communities and having a not-for-profit foundation has really, I think, proven a very effective way of creating commercial ecosystems and ecosystems around platforms. And so I think it's a new way of doing collaboration in the industry. Eclipse is a good model. The Linux Foundation is another good model. The Symbian Foundation is I think, a really good model. So we joined each other's organizations so we can do further collaborations and kind of learn about best practices on how to really create these commercial ecosystems. We also are we're tools focused, and we actually announced what we call the Eclipse Pulsar initiative to define a mobile tools development platform. We announced it earlier in March, and we look forward to having Symbian's participation in that.
So there's a commonality of interest in tools, there's commonality of interest in the particular license,
Yes.
but a commonality of interest in being a business-friendly approach to open source,
Right.
to getting innovation encouraged in a way that gets the best of both the business world and the open source kind of
Yeah,
methods world.
and I also think it's important to have multiple vendors participating as equals. And if you have a not-for-profit foundation at the center of that, it makes it a lot easier to get that collaboration going.
Yep. Anybody else got announcements they want to share?
Perhaps one related to the foundation. I think for some time we've announced our intent in April of this year to actually provide some code, some forums, and other systems that I would say are most closely associated with what you would call a launch of the foundation business. And I'm happy to say that we've started our beta programs this week for the site. So members are, as we speak, getting some invitations to come in and get access to a mercurial system where source code sits. A couple of EPL packages are already sitting on that system. There are discussion forums and this type of thing that are coming online. More than that, you'll see throughout the month and on into May what I'll call a more public site launch with discussion forums, bug tracking systems, and everything else that is a part of what you can look to get full support out of the foundation and the ecosystem and all the members that are a part of it. So it's quite an accomplishment, really. We've had some teams literally working around the clock to make this happen, and members are starting to see it come online this week, and then again, just stay posted for the rest of the month and on into May to see more public appearance of what we're doing here.
Because in the end, all this talk comes to nothing unless we can show people the code.
That's right.
The common retort to the open source world. Show us the code. Well, now we are starting to show people the code.
That's right.
And there's rather a lot of it. And it's going to give some people indigestion, but hopefully we've
Kind of
cut it
careful
up.
what you asked for.
Yes, but hopefully we've cut it up into digestible chunks. Maybe before we open it up for questions, there was some topics that were kind of suggested beforehand. I'm just interested in what people think about this whole topic of the kind of biggest issues facing the Symbian Foundation. So there's a lot of brain power here in the panel. So what would you urge us in the Symbian Foundation to pay attention to? What do you think our risks are, and what should our priorities be? So I can go around the whole room again, but if anybody wants to jump in, please do so. Jay?
So I think, obviously, some people are trying to approach the giving developers access to consumers through starting their own app stores.
Yep.
But in a multi-OEM environment, and hopefully, where many more OEMs jump into the fray with Symbian, what is Symbian going to do? I think that's a big challenge. How is Symbian going to provide some mechanism for people that are targeting the Symbian platform to be discovered and experience as consumers? I think that's going to be a significant challenge.
Okay, so how do we get the applications? Have a good route to the consumers?
Correct.
Because people can write applications, but unless the consumers are finding them and reliably knowing which application works on the device, then there'll be a lot of frustrated developers.
Yeah,